Alohomora.
Hey everyone, I am the Brick Perfectionist, and today I will be comparing both versions of the Forbidden Corridor and placing both in front of my custom backdrop. First up, we have 4706, the Forbidden Corridor, which was released in 2001. At the bottom right-hand side is a spiral staircase, which can spin all the way around 360 degrees. The idea here is that this is the staircase leading up to the forbidden third floor corridor. At the top of the stairs is a stone doorway which holds 2 torches on either side and a door that was magically unlocked. On top of this section is a green roof as well as a bat, which I believe is supposed to be a statue. Below is a wooden chest holding 2 important items, a flute and the key to unlock the door. Moving on to the upper left section of the build, we have all 3 figures as well as a larger figure, Fluffy the 3-headed dog. This version of Fluffy has the ability to open up each mouth, and he is currently worth $21.50 used or $46.50 in new condition. Next up are the actual minifigures, first of which is Harry James Potter, who is wearing his invisibility cloak. This version of Harry Potter was available in 3 different sets, and he is currently worth $4.75 used or $15 in new condition. The next minifigure is Ronald Bilious Weasley, who is wearing his Gryffindor robes. This version of Ron was available in 5 different sets as well as 1 promotional item, and he is currently worth $3.50 used or $9 new. Last but not least, we have Hermione Jean Granger, who is also wearing her Gryffindor robes. Hermione was available in 2 different sets as well as 1 promotional item, and she is currently worth $5.50 used or $15 in new condition. Now let's take a quick look at the back of the set. First, there are a couple of torches lit up behind the students, and down below is a second bat statue as well as 2 different spider webs that have a black spider on them. Each spider web can also be lifted up and down individually. There isn't much detail on the back, however on the front side we do have a trap door leading down into the next section of the build. Here we have the Devil's Snare waiting for its next unsuspecting victim. There's a few other pieces of foliage scattered about, and on the left side is the lever which controls both jaws to the Devil's Snare. In order for the students to get through the trap door, Harry must use the flute to put Fluffy to sleep. Now that Fluffy's taking a nap, Harry, Ron, and Hermione can jump down into the trap door, and unfortunately the Devil's Snare will catch them. Not to worry though, Hermione will use Lumos Solem and get the group to safety. Before we look at the next version of the Forbidden Corridor, here is my custom backdrop which I created to resemble the Devil's Snare. This particular backdrop took just shy of 5 hours to create, and the backdrop stand has some extra vines for detail. Stay tuned to see both sets next to this backdrop. Now we have 76387 Hogwarts Fluffy Encounter, which was released in 2021. The green roof is back in action, this time a lot pointier, and there are 2 smaller spikes on the lower section of the roof. Down below is a small balcony, although I'm not sure who's allowed to be here. Scattered about are a few extra brick details in the stone, and the balcony railing itself is gold. At the bottom of the tower is the cliff face where both types of stone meet organically. At the very bottom of the cliff are a couple of pieces representing algae or moss. To the left is another green roof with a few pieces for texture. On each side of the roof, the walls come up in a stair-step pattern. On the front side of the main section is a stone engraved crest for Hogwarts, 2 large and narrow windows, as well as 3 smaller windows. Just like the Hogwarts crest, there are a few other stickers included with this set, 2 of which are the stone details on the front side. Before we get to the interior, let's take a closer look at each minifigure. First, we have a 20th anniversary gold Hermione Jean Granger. This anniversary figure is exclusive to this set and is currently worth $9.50 used or $14.25 in new condition. The next minifigure is Harry James Potter in his Gryffindor robes. This version of Harry was available in the Forbidden Corridor along with 2 books and is currently worth $2.25 used or $3.25 new. Following Harry, we of course have Ronald Bilious Weasley. This version of Ron comes from 3 different sets, 2 of which are still available. He is currently worth $2.25 used or $3 in new condition. Finally, we have a secondary figure for Hermione Jean Granger. This version of Hermione was available in 2 different sets along with 2 books, and she is currently worth $2.25 used or $3.25 in new condition. Moving back to the interior, there is a small arch detail at the top of the roof. Down below that is a small area used for brewing potions. That would include a candlelit table with some potions, as well as a banner hanging with a couple of recipes. At the front side is also a small pot used for the brewing. Underneath the brewing area is the balcony access, and here we can find the gold harp that was only used in the Harry Potter movies. On the left side is a doorway, and inside we have 2 torches lighting up the balcony, as well as a couple of stone carvings on each side of the archway. Down below is a very poor interpretation of the Devil's Snare with a bone behind it. This section also has an opening on the left side and 2 more stone carvings in the archway. Now let's take a closer look at the final section, starting with the ceiling. Up top we have 2 different floating candles, both of which are attached to the left and right wall and can be moved individually. On the bottom right side is another stone archway or doorway, which leads right through to the new brick-built version of Fluffy the 3-headed dog. The only advantage of Fluffy being brick-built is his posability. This figure is currently worth $12.50 used or $18.50 in new condition. In order to access the trapdoor under Fluffy, the set was designed so that you can remove the archway at the front side and not have it directly in the way. It looks like Hagrid maybe left a snack for Fluffy to munch on. This set can be slightly improved with the help of 76389, the Chamber of Secrets. Placed down below is Gilderoy Lockhart's classroom, which allows the trapdoor to be placed right above the Devil's Snare. Once Fluffy is removed from the set, you can then open up the trapdoor, and that gives you the ability to toss down any of the trio. Later down the road, I will be reviewing the Chamber of Secrets, and will show more of Gilderoy Lockhart's classroom then. When together, both sets look very similar in size, and as promised, here are both individually with my backdrop. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Really, again with the blue lighting? Yes, but I did want to stay accurate to the movie scene. This backdrop was really fun to create, even though it was a little hard to understand visually as I was going. Yesterday, I placed an order for 76431 Hogwarts Castle Potions class. After I post the speed builds for both Forbidden Corridor sets, I will be comparing 4705 Snape's class with Potions class. Thank you all for over 300 subs, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.